Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. Our guest today is Vince Molinari, my dear friend and sponsor of Your Mark on the World Center. He's the CEO of Gate Global Impact and the managing director of Constellation FinTech. Vince, welcome back to the show. We're thrilled to have you.
Hey, thanks, Devin. It's always a pleasure, and I always enjoy being on your show.
Well, you're really one of the leading players in the evolving alternative fintech world, and so we're just thrilled to have you back again, and are eager to get the update on Gate Global Impact to learn more about where it is and what the future holds. But in April, you did a big deal with the Raptor Group. Tell us about that. What is that? What happened? And what does it mean for Gate Global Impact going forward?
Well, I'll tell you, Devin, it's really been one of those goals that you hope and aspire to as an entrepreneur. And the fact that Raptor, through Constellation FinTech, which is the new holding company that owns Gate Global Impact, acquired the controlling interest of Constellation FinTech. And acquired the assets of Gate Global Impact. So for us, having one of the legends of Wall Street in his financial prowess, in Jim Pallotta, who is Raptor, buying in and believing in the disruptive innovation nature of the platform business, and really with a true belief in impact investing as being a future product investable asset class, I think really signals a major awakening to a lot of chasing for the last several years collectively as your world, Gate Global Impact, and many others, that the world is now beginning to recognize that impact investing is something that you can invest in companies and projects, get a real rate of return, and actually deliver good at the same time. So I think it's becoming an acceptable practice and something that's going to be part of portfolio allocations in the very near future.
What are some of the bellwether deals that you've seen that help confirm this hypothesis that impact and financial returns can go together?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that are outside of Gate Global Impact and some things inside of Gate Global Impact. One outside, I think when you look at Imprint Capital being acquired by Goldman Sachs, of all people, right? They're putting a stake in the ground, which tells you that demand exists. Whether it's ultra high net worth family offices, people are looking for investable assets that are delivering good. And what a great entry point for Goldman to buy someone like Imprint Capital. I think on the other end of the spectrum, you have Ruth Porat out of Morgan Stanley, leaving Morgan Stanley and going to Google, of all places. So I think that's more definition around general solicitation, the intersection of social media and finance now taking hold. And I'll tell you, my dear partner, Joe Latono, who's just been a brilliant architect of our technology. We continue to scale our team, and our new CEO of Constellation FinTech, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you about him. Jack Klink, former executive director of State Street Bank, has come in to take the helm. If that's not a signal. We have Cliff Friedman out of Highbridge and Constellation Ventures, who's the chairman of Constellation FinTech now. So we're really building great momentum. Traditional players who are now recognizing that there's tremendous opportunity to move the needle in this asset class.
Well, it is an exciting time, and I think one of the key things that has happened is this recognition that you called our attention to, that there can be social impact and financial return in the same deal. And one of the things that I think about is that how much sense that really makes, although that's been hard for the market to come to. It's coming to this, but there is a fundamental axiom in entrepreneurship that I'm sure you know better than I, and that is that in order to create a deal, you've got to solve a problem. Well, when we're talking about solving some of the world's big problems, poverty, AIDS, cancer, whatever you think, certainly there must be opportunities lurking in those solutions, don't you think?
My goodness, I hate to bring it back to capital. I hate to bring it back to just access to capital, but I think there's a fundamental shift occurring here as well. And we share the same view of how strong philanthropy can be, but there's not enough philanthropy or donation-based dollars in the world to cure the issues that are at hand. So if we can begin to look at sustainable, systemic opportunity to make a difference in the world and package it as companies and projects, we're beginning to rethink the world. And I think the access to much larger pools of capital that are investable capital that didn't communicate with those opportunities because it didn't speak the same language. The opportunity of platforms like Gate Global Impact and others is that we're creating standardization, best practice, due diligence, and access to those opportunities that are investable. And I think, my goodness, if we, again, hate to go back to the Jobs Act, but you know how I feel about that. The ability to generally solicit, advertise these opportunities and have tremendous scale over social media, connect to diaspora communities, affinity groups. We've now changed the funding paradigm. And I really believe, Devin, and again, we've spoken about this in the past, when we look at our distribution, when we look at our financial service markets in the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to look dramatically different.
This is an exciting time to be right at the intersection of all this change. And of course, you're driving that, Vince, and I really appreciate you taking time to be with us. As you look at the success and impact you're having, you have become a role model to many. I wonder who inspires you. Who's the role model you look to?
Well, very kind of you. And I don't know if we're driving, but we're certainly trying to be a productive cog in the wheel. There's so many great role models out there. We'll look at someone like Elon Musk and what he's pioneering, and the ability to really think about outside the box, but everything from Tesla to sending rockets into space. Incredible inspiration. Pope Francis. You look at someone of his level leading by example and being judgment free. And I think if we can look to a leader like Pope Francis to inspire us to be non-judgmental and to be inclusive, what a great leader he is. So, those are two really, both from a business standpoint and just a general life philosophy that continue to inspire me.
Oh, that's great. Now, you are, you're brilliant. You've accomplished so much.
I want to come back again, Devin. This is really kind of you. Thank you.
You could be doing anything, Vince, and yet you are focused on impact. Why?
I think it's part of all of our roles in this planet to help make it a bit better. And I think I've been very fortunate and blessed with my partner, Joe Latona, and I, as we kind of envisioned this, when people told us it was silly, it would never happen, it doesn't make sense, to have the tenacity and the belief that we could make a difference in using tools and things that we understood in regulation and in technology to really try to help people. And in the process, it's okay to make a profit. And it's okay to think about what I'd like to say is the new rate of return, that new rate of return that is financial, but quantifying and measuring the amount of societal, environmental good that we're delivering. So I hate to say it's part of our calling, but I think it truly is part of what drives us to make a difference in the world.
It's great, Vince, and I certainly share that feeling, that sense of calling. Now, you, again, very successful, high impact player. I'm wondering if you can give us a tip, an idea, a suggestion, something that you draw on, something maybe you do every day or do consistently that we could emulate, we could copy so that we can have more impact like you.
Well, it may not be the most, I would say, brilliant statement, Devin, but I'll say it. I think part of the realization and the comfort is accepting that it's okay to fail. I think we are so ingrained that, success, But part of that success process at times is failing, is falling down, and it's pivoting and picking yourself up and going again. And particularly when you are entrepreneurial, when you're going against the grain. So I think it's an acceptance of understanding this fashionable word of pivoting, which is also failure, that we can have a core belief and a passion. And if we get it wrong the first time, you go again and again. And with each failure, I think you're truly closer to success.
Fantastic. Well, Vince, before you go, I want you to tell people how and when they can connect with you, how and when they can engage with Gate Global Impact, how and when this is all coming together.
Yeah, and thank you. I love to be able to do the shout out, Devin, and you have certainly a great following. So thank you for that. Yeah, please come to gateglobalimpact.com. Sign on, become a user. As we launch, you'll get more information, and when the deals go live, love people to come and engage. And even at an information layer, you're going to be able to learn more about impact investing. So gateglobalimpact.com. I'm on LinkedIn personally, Vincent Molinari, Twitter at Vince Molinari. We'll always get back to you. It may take us a little bit, but love to collaborate, love to talk to issuers, people who are seeking capital, like-minded people who are looking for partnerships. So please reach out to us. We want to work together with lots of people in the space.
Fantastic. Vince, thank you very much for taking the time to be with you. We wish you every success in the great work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Devin. Great respect to all you're doing, and thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you. Let's do some good.